Hello, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. This is Team ETA, and we're presenting our recovery organization. This is made by
Aranza.
Ben.
Hey, I'm Kush.
And Steve. Let's move on to our next slide, and we will cover the organization.
So Recovery Organization is a drug and alcohol rehab center that uses evidence-based treatment. They have multiple centers throughout Illinois, and they have been in the industry for 5 decades, and they have treated over 1 million patients. The problem is recovery does not have a quality drug distribution feature. Recovery system only inputs data on medications, meaning that medication is not being checked from entry to distribution. This can mean that patients are being prescribed incorrect medications, and this can lead to serious consequences, one of them being death. Implementing a quality assurance feature has caught 2 cases where patients were prescribed incorrectly. Those patients were less than 2% of all current patients. Both nurses face consequences for their actions.
Drug and alcohol rehab industry, and we used Porter's five forces to analyze it. We found that the buyer power was low because it's a very competitive financial industry. Patients are also very heavily dependent on insurance, so switching from insurance or facilities is expensive, making the buyer power low. Supplier power is high because it's a billion-dollar business industry. The supplier market itself is very competitive, and they compete with their prices. The threat of substitutes is also high. There's competitive alternative treatment options. You can get emotional therapy, drug therapy, or mental therapy. There's very many different options, and the industry is continuing to grow, so it's very worth high today. It's also high. There are a few entry barriers, making it easy to enter. There are higher demand for treatments, especially today as well. The rivalry among existing competitors is also high. As mentioned before, it's a very highly competitive industry with many different facilities and treatments within each facility. We came up with is, first of all, we need confidentiality. We're dealing with patient information, so it's important that our software is secure. We want effectiveness for accuracy. Once again, patient information is important, and we want to ensure that the treatments are prescribed accurately. We want mobile friendliness for efficiency and for distance preferences. For example, within the pandemic, a lot of patients didn't want to visit their doctors in person. We want ease of use. We want the training to be simple when we're implementing the software. We want it to be fail-safe, and we want universal terminology since we're going to have a lot of different patients and doctors using it. And affordability is important because the software itself may be expensive to purchase, but we also need to maintain it and possibly replace it. So we need it to be affordable in those areas as well.
So the impact we're trying to make with our solution is, as you can see in this image right here, this prescription, I especially can't read anything. Certain pharmacists can't read it either, which leads to incorrect medication being prescribed for the patient. Skaggs School of Pharmacy at UCSD this past year stated that medical problems and death resulting from prescriptions inaccurately prescribed or taken costs an average of $528.5 billion annually. We aim to reduce incorrect medication through flagged irregularities, functioning with real-time data, and helping patients through their struggles. We're going to do all this by purchasing the software called Salesforce Health Cloud CRM. It is designed specifically for the healthcare industry. It costs about $300 per user per month. It is extremely purposeful to operate the software effectively and efficiently, decrease wasted time, such as decoding a doctor's handwriting, and decrease risk of prescribing an incorrect medication.
To ensure ethical use of patient information and to be HIPAA compliant, patient data will only be stored internally and be password protected. Patient information will never be sold or otherwise distributed without explicit written patient consent. The environmental ramifications are, if anything, slightly better than old school RX forms. Since we would now be paperless, we require far fewer trees to be cut down to fulfill prescriptions, minimizing carbon footprint. Hopefully, there should be little to no political pushback from either side of the aisle, since Salesforce Health Cloud CRM is environmentally friendly, business friendly, makes for a better customer experience, and has the opportunity to save lives for a very low cost. As our world becomes increasingly more digital, cybersecurity becomes more important by the day. Our solution will make the effort to ensure that security breaches are minimized. On the business and legal side of things, our implementation will be backed up by Salesforce legal and cybersecurity teams. Customers should find the oh, sorry.
Yeah, my fault. Just transitioning here to the project management needs. Let's talk a little bit more about what that would look like. We're looking at a 6-week training, $600 budget for the first 6 weeks, $300 on Salesforce, and additional training and wages. We would also have to plan for any risks and errors in the project management space. And also we would have to implement Salesforce CRM to recoveries database in the schedule. That would wrap up our presentation today. We see here some works cited that we used for our presentations. That wraps up our presentation. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact us. Thank you.